to another Sunday night edition of Accessibly Live, the book club reading room. Hope everyone's having a good night tonight. We've got something special for you tonight. Something a little bit longer than normal, last few days at least, last few weeks. And we have got a narrative poem for you. We've been doing and trying to build up and slowly get ready for the end of the month when we're going to have our 2 year anniversary. And of course, as we do with every year since we've started this show, we will be premiering a brand new Hardy Boys mystery. And we will go through that. And we might have to take a break if we don't get it finished in time for Valentine's Day. The reason? I got something special for you. Something that I found that's in public domain. It is a romantic slash comedy movie from the 1940s, late 40s, and it's a lot of fun to watch. So we will be doing that, and we might have to take, like I said, take a break for the Hardy Boys mystery to show this during Valentine's Day. Um, so I'm kind of excited. I'm very excited for this. Tonight, we are doing The Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Uh, Samuel Taylor Coleridge was born in October 21st, 1772, died July 25th, 1834. He was a prolific writer at his time, a lot of narrative of poetry. What we're going to be doing tonight is a rather long poem and a very specific story that he's telling. Imagine you went to a wedding, and as you're about ready to walk in the door to the reception, some haggard, crazy old guy stops you as you're going in and starts to tell you a story. And as much as you want to get away, you find yourself getting drawn into the story. That's the idea for the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. When you get a chance to appreciate it, love to have you like and subscribe. It would be phenomenal to have you guys, if you guys are liking this show, and I hope you are, is just hit like and subscribe on the side and join me in, you know, every week as we do this kind of crazy stuff. Now, before we get started on the show, I got to give a shout out to one of my regulars who is not doing so good and feeling a bit under the weather. So, hey, Billy, feel better. Hope things work out and you get on the mends real fast. We'll see you soon. Take care. But let's get started. As I said, this is a long poem. This will be a little bit longer than normal show, give or take. But I think you guys will like it, and I hope you enjoy it. I really do hope you enjoy it. And as I get comfortable, let's begin. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, here on Accessibly Live, the book club reading room. This is part 1. It is an ancient mariner, and he stooped one of 3 by thy grey long beard and glittering eye. Now wherefore stoppeth thou me? The bridegroom doors are wide open, and I am next of kin. The guests are met, the feast is set. Mayst hear the merry din. He holds him with his skinny hand. There is a ship, quoth he, Hold off, unhand me, graybeard loon. F's in hand drops him. He holds him with his glittering eye. The wedding guest stood still and listens like a 3 years child. The mariner hath his will. The wedding guest sat on a stone. He cannot just but hear. And thus spake on the ancient man, the bright-eyed mariner. The ship was cheered, the harbor cleared. Merrily did we drop. Below the kirk, below the hill, below the lighthouse top. The sun came up upon the left, out of the sea came he. And he shone bright, and on the right went down into the sea. Higher and higher every day, till over the mast at noon, the wedding guest here beat his breast, for he heard the loud bassoon. The bride hath paced into the hall, red as a rose is she, nodding their heads as her before her goes the merry minstrelsy. The wedding guest he beat his breast, yet cannot choose but hear, and thus spake on the ancient man, the bright-eyed mariner. And now the storm blast came, and he was tyrannous and strong. He struck with his overtaking wings and chased south along, with sloping masts and dipping prow, as he pursued with yell and blow. Still treads the shadow of his foe, and forward bends his head. The ship drove fast, loud roared the blast, and southward we fled. And now there came both mist and snow, and it grew wondrous cold. And ice, mast high, came floating down by, as green as emerald. And through the drifts, the snowy cliffs, did send the dismal sheen, nor shapes of men nor beasts we keen. The ice was all. The ice was here, the ice was there, the ice was all around. It cracked and growled, it roared and howled, like noises in a swound. At length did cross an albatross. Through the fog it came, as if it had been a Christian soul. We hailed it in God's name. It ate the food it ne'er had eat, and round it flew. The ice did split with thunder fit, the helmsman steered us through. And a good south wind sprung up behind, the albatross did follow. And every day for food or play came the mariner's hollo. In the mist or cloud, or on the mast or shroud, it perched for vespers 9, while all the night through fog smoke white glimmered in the white moonshine. God save thee, ancient mariner, from the fiends that plague thee thus. Why thou'st look so? With my crossbow I shot the albatross. Part 2. The sun now rose upon the right. Out of the sea came he, still hid in mist, and on the left went down into the sea. And the good south wind still blew behind, but no sweet bird did follow, nor did day for food or play came to the mariner's hollo, and I had done an hellish thing, and it would work 'em woe, for all everard I had killed the bird that made the breeze to blow. Ah, wretched, said they, the bird to slay that made the breeze to blow. Nor dim or red, like God's own head, the glorious sun uprist. Then all arrived, I killed the bird that brought the fog in mist. 'Twas night, said they, such birds to slay that bring the fog in mist. Thus fair below, thus fair breeze blew, the white foam flew, the furrow followed free. We were the first that ever burst into that silent sea. Down dropped the breeze, the sails dropped down. 'Twas sad as sad could be, and we did speak only to break the silence of the sea. All in a hot and copper sky, the bloody sun at noon, right above the mast did stand, no bigger than the moon. Day after day, day after day, we struck, nor breath nor motion, as idle as a painted ship upon a painted ocean. Water, water everywhere, and all the boards did shrink. Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. The very deep did rot, O Christ, that ever this should be. Yea, slimy things did crawl with legs upon the slimy sea. About, in reel and rout, the death fires danced at night. The water, like witches' oils, burnt green and blue and white. And some in dreams assured were of the spirit that plagued us so. 9 fathoms deep he had followed us from the land of mist and snow. And every tongue through utter drought was withered at the root. We could not speak, no more than if we had been choked with the soot. Ah, well a day, what evil looks had I from old and young. Instead of the cross, the albatross about my neck was hung. Part 3. There passed a weary time. Each throat was parched and glazed each eye. A weary time, how glazed each weary eye. When looked westward I beheld something in the sky. At first it seemed a little speck, and then it seemed a mist. It moved, and took at last a certain shape I wist. A speck, a mist, a shape I wist, and still it neared and neared, as if it dodged a water sprite. It plunged and tacked and veered, with throats unslacked and black lips baked. We could not laugh nor wail. Through utter drought, all dumb we stood. I bit my arm, I sucked the blood, and cried, "A sail, a sail!" With throats unslacked and black lips baked, a gasp they heard me call. Gramercy, they for joy did grin, and all at once they drew breath in, as they were drinking all. "See, see," I cried, "she tacks no more, hither to work us well, without a breeze, without a tide, She steadies the upright knell. The western wave was all aflame. The day was well nigh undone. Almost upon the western wave rested the broad, bright sun, when the strange shape drove suddenly betwixt us and the sun. And straight the sun was flecked with bars. Heaven's mother sent us grace, as if through dungeon grate it appeared, with broad and burning face. Alas, thought I, and my heart beat loud, how fast she nears and nears. Are those her sails that glance in the sun like restless gossamers? Are those her ribs through which the sun did peer as through a grate? Is that a woman, all her crew? Is that a death, and are there two? Is death that woman's mate? Her lips were red, her looks were free, her locks were yellow as gold. Her skin was white as leprosy. The nightmare's life, death in death was she, who thicks man's blood with cold. The naked hulk alongside came, and twain was casting dice. The game is done, I've won, quoth she, and whistles thrice. The sun's rim drips, the stars rush out, and one stride comes the dark. With far heard whisper o'er the sea, offshoot the spectre bark. We listened and looked up sideways, fear at my heart as at a cup. My lifeblood seemed to sip. The stars were dim, and the thick night, the steersman by the lamp gleamed white. From the sails the dew did drip, till clomb above the eastern bar the horned moon with one bright star within the nether tip. One after one, by the star-dogged moon, too quick for groan or sigh, each turned his face with ghastly pang, and cursed me with his eye. 4 times 50 living men, and I heard nor sigh nor groan. With heavy thump, a lifeless lump, they dropped down one by one. The souls did from their bodies fly, they fled to bliss or woe, and every soul did pass me by, like the whizzes of my crossbow. Part 4. I fear the ancient mariner, I fear the skinny hand, and thou art long and lank and brown as the ribbed sea sand. I fear thee and thy glittering eye, and thy skinny hand so brown. Fear not, thou wedding guest, this body dropped not down. Alone, alone, all alone, alone on the wide, wide sea, and never a saint took pity on my soul in agony. Many men so beautiful, and they all died, did lie, and 1,000 slimy things lived on, and so did I. I looked upon the rotting sea, and drew my eyes away. I looked upon the rotting deck, and there the dead man lay. I looked to heaven, and tried to pray, but or ever a prayer had gust. A wicked whisper came and made my heart as dry as dust. I closed my lids and kept them close, and the balls like pulses beat. For the sky and the sea and the sky, sea and the sky, lay like a load upon my weary eye, and the dead were at my feet. Nor the cold sweat melted from their limbs, nor rot nor reek did they. They looked with which they looked on me, had never passed away. An orphan's curse would drag to hell a spirit from on high. But oh, more horrible than that is the curse in a dead man's eye. 7 days, 7 nights, I saw that curse, and yet I could not die. The moving moon went up the sky, and nowhere did abide. Softly she was going up, and a star or two beside. Her beams besmoked the sultry main, like April hoarfrost spread. But where the ship's huge shadows lay, the charm water burnt alway, and still and awful red. Beyond the shadow of the ship, I watched the water snakes. They moved in tracks of shining white, and when they reared, the elfish light fell off in hoary flakes. Within the shadow of the ship, I watched their rich attire, blue, glossy, green, and velvet black. They coiled and swam, and every track was a flash of golden fire. O happy living things, no tongue their beauty might declare. A spring of love gushed from my heart, and I blessed them unaware. Surely my kind saint took pity on me, and I blessed them unaware. The self same moment I could pray, from my neck so free, the albatross fell off and sank like lead into the sea. Part 5. O sleep, it is a gentle thing, beloved from pole to pole. To Mary Queen the praise be given. She sent the gentle sleep to heaven that slid into my soul. The silly buckets on the deck that had so long remained, I dreamt that they were filled with dew, and when I woke, it rained. My lips were wet, my throat was cold, my garments were all dank. Sure, I had drunken in my dream, and still my body drank. I moved and could not feel my limbs, and so light almost. I thought that I had died in sleep and was a blessed ghost. And soon I heard a roaring wind. It did not come anear, but with its sound it shook the sails that were so thin and sere. And up air burst like life, and 100 fire flags sheen. To and fro they were hurried about, and to and fro, and in and out, the wan stars danced between. And the coming wind did roar more aloud, and the sails did sigh with siege, and the rain poured down from one black cloud. The moon was at its edge. The thick black cloud was cleft and still. The moon was at its side, like water shot from high crag, and lightning fell with never a jag. A river steep and the loud wind never reached the ship, and yet now the ship moved on. Beneath the lightning and the moon, the dead men gave a groan. They groaned, they stirred, they all uprose. No spake, no moved their eyes, and had been strange, even in a dream, to have seen these dead men rise. The helmsman steered, the ship moved on, and yet never a breeze blew. The mariners all gained work the ropes where they were wont to do. They raised their limbs like lifeless tools. We were a ghastly crew. The body of my brother's son stood by me knee to knee. The body and I pulled at one rope, but he said not. I fear thee, ancient mariner. Be calm, thou wedding guest. 'Twas not those souls that fled in pain, to which the chorus did again, but a troop of spirits blest. And when it was dawn, they dropped their arms and clustered around the mast. Sweet sounds rose slowly through their mouths, and from their bodies passed. Around, around flew each sweet sound, and darted to the sun. Slowly the sounds came back again, now mixed, now one by one. Sometimes a dropping from the sky. I heard a skylark sing. Sometimes all little birds that are, how they seem to fill the sea and air with their sweet jargoning. And now 'twas like in all instruments, now like a lonely flute, and now it is an angel's song that makes the heavens be mute. It ceased, and yet the sails made on, a pleasant note still new, a noise like of a hidden book in the leafy month of June, that to the sleeping woods all night singeth a quiet till June till noon we quietly sailed on, yet never a breeze did breathe. Slowly and smoothly went the ship, moved onward from beneath. Under the Nile, 1 fathom deep, 9 fathom deep, from the land of mist and snow, the spirit slid, and it was that made the ship to go. And sails at noon left off their tune, and the ship stood still. The sun right above the mast had fixed her to the ocean, but in a minute she gained a stir with a short, uneasy motion. Backwards and forwards half her length with a short, uneasy motion. Then, like a pawing horse let go, she made a sudden bound. It flung the blood into my head, and I fell down in a swoon. along in that same fit I lay. I have not yet to declare. But ere my living life returned, I heard and in my soul discerned two voices in the air. Is it he? Quoth one. Is this the man? By him who died on cross, with his cruel bow, and he laid full low the harmless albatross. The spirit who bideth him by himself in the land of mist and snow. He loved that bird and loved the man who shot him with his bow. The other was a softer voice, as soft as honeydew. Quoth he, the man hath penance done, and penance more will do. Part 6. First voice. But tell me, speak again, thy soft response renewing. What makes the ship drive on so fast? What is the ocean doing? Second voice. Still as a slave before his lord, the ocean hath no blast. His great bright eye most silently upon the moon is cast. If he may know which way to go, for she guides him smooth or grim. See, brother, see how graciously she looketh down on him. But what drives the ship on so fast, without or wave or wind? Second voice. The air is cut away before and close from behind. Fly, brother, fly, more high, or we shall be belated. For slow and slow that ship will go when the mariner's trance is abated. I woke and we were sailing on, as in gentle weather. 'Twas night, calm night. The moon was high. The dead men stood together. All stood together on the deck, for their charnel dungeon fitter. All fixed on me their stony eyes, that the moon did glitter. The pang, the curse, which with which they died, had never passed away. I could not draw my eyes from theirs, nor turn them up to pray. And now the spell was snapped. Once more I viewed the ocean green, and looked far forth, yet little saw of what had else been seen. Like one that on that lonesome road doth walk in fear and dread, and having once turned round walks on, and turns no more his head, because he knows a frightful fiend doth close behind him tread. But soon there breathed a wind on me, no sound nor motion made. Its path was not upon the sea, in ripple or in shade. It raised my hair, it fanned my cheek, like a meadow gale of spring. It mingled strangely with my fears, yet it felt like a welcome. Swiftly flew the ship, yet she sailed softly too. Sweetly blew the breeze on me alone. Oh, dream of joy, is this indeed The lighthouse top I see. Is this the hill? Is this the kirk? Is this the mine own country? We drifted o'er the harbor bar, and I with sobs did pray, oh let me be awake, O God, or let me sleep away. The harbor bay was clear as glass, so smoothly did it stream, and on the bay the moonlit lay, the shadow of the moon. The rock shone bright, the kirk no less, thus stands upon the rock. The moonlight steeped in silentness, the steady weather, and the bay was white with silent till rising from the same, full of shapes the shadows were, in crimson colors came. A little distance from the prow, those crimson shadows were. I turned my eyes upon the deck. O Christ, what saw I there? Each course lay flat, and flatless, lifeless and flat, and by the holy rood, a man all light, a seraphman, on every course they stood. The seraph band each waved his hand. It was a heavenly sight. They stood as signals to the land, each one a lovely light. The seraph band each waved his hand. No voice did they impart, no voice, but oh, the silence sank like music on my heart. But soon I heard the dash of oars, I heard the pilot's cheer. My head was turned perforce away. I saw a boat appear. The pilot and the pilot's boy, I heard them coming fast. Dear Lord in heaven, it was a joy the dead men could not blast. I saw a third, I heard his voice. It is the hermit good. He singeth loud his godly hymns that he makes in the wood. He'll shrive my soul, he'll wash away the albatross's blood. The final chapter 7. This hermit good lives in the wood which sloops down to the sea. How loudly his sweet voice he rears. He loves to talk with mariners that come from a far country. He kneels at morn and noon and eve. He hath a cushion plump. It is the moss that wholly hides the rotted old oak stump. The skiff boat neared, I heard them talk. Why this is strange, I trow. Where are those lights so many and fair that signals made but now? Strange by my faith, the hermits said, and they answered not our cheer. The planks looked warped, and see those sails, how thin they are and sere. Sir, I never saw aught like to them, unless perchance it were. Brown skeletons of leaves that lag my forest brook along, When the ivy trode is heavy with snow, and the owl whoops to the wolf below that eats the she-wolf's young. Dear Lord, it hath a fiendish look, the pilot made reply. I am feared, push on, said the hermit cheerily. The boat came closer to the ship, but I nor spake nor stirred. The boat came close beneath the ship, and straight a sound was heard. Under the water it rumbled on, still louder and more dread. It reached the ship, it split the bay. The ship went down like lead. Stunned by that loud and dreadful sound, which sky and ocean smote, like one that hath been 7 days drowned. My body lay afloat, but swift as dreams myself I found within the pilot's boat. Upon the whirl where sank the ship, the boat spun round and round, and all was still save that the hill was telling of the sound. I moved my lips, the pilot shrieked, and fell down in a fit. The holy hermit raised his eyes in prayer where he did sit. I took the oars, the pilot's boy, who now doth crazy go, laughed loud and long, and all the while his eyes went to and fro. Ha ha, quoth he, full plain I see, the devil knows how to row. And now in all my country I stood on firm land. The hermit stepped forth from the boat, and scarcely he could stand. Oh, shrive me, holy man, the hermit crossed his brow. Say quick, quoth he, I bid thee say, what manner of man art thou? For with his frame of mine was wretched, with woeful agony, which forced me to begin my tale, and then it set me free. Since then, at uncertain hour, that agony returns, and still my ghastly tale is told. This heart within me burns. I pass like night from land to land. I have strange power of speech. That moment that his face I see, I know the man that must hear me. To him my tale I teach. What loud uproar bursts from that door? The wedding guests are there, but in the garden bower the bride and bridesmaids singing are. And hark the little vesper bell, which bids me to prayer. O wedding guest, this soul hath been alone on a wide sea. So lonely 'twas that God himself scarce seemed there to be. O sweeter than the marriage feast, 'tis sweeter far to me to walk together to the kirk with a goodly company, to walk together to the kirk, and we all together pray, while each to his great Father bends, old men and babes and loving friends, and youths and maidens gay. Farewell, farewell, but this I tell to thee, thou wedding guest. He prayeth well and loveth well, both man and bird and beast. He prayeth best who loveth best all things both great and small. For the dear God who loveth us, he made and loveth all. The mariner whose eye is bright, whose beard with age is hoar, is gone, and now the wedding guest turned from the bridegroom's door. He went like one that hath been stunned, and is of sense forlorn. A sadder and wiser man. He rose the morrow morn. And that is the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Here on Accessibly Live, the Book Club Reading Room. Hope you enjoyed it. Something a little different for you guys tonight. We, like I said, we're gaining steam to celebrate 2 years at the end of the month. And I appreciate you guys all being a part of us. We are, as I said, we are, if not a little more fluid. We have our new area that we do our show in, which we appreciate. And we kind of are very glad. We are very glad that you guys are here to join us. Every Sunday night here on Twitch and YouTube, Accessibly Live, the Book Club Reading Room. We remind everybody, when you guys get a chance, to please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. It would be a nice thing. We're getting ready to wrap up the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in again. This is Accessibly Live, the Book Club Reading Room. Every Sunday night here. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have a book that's in public domain that you know of, let me know. And we'll try to fit it in this year. And like I said, we're adding a few surprises. For Valentine's Day, we will be taking a break between chapters of a book we'll be working on. And it might be a lot of fun. I think you guys are enjoying it. It's a nice love story to span the ages. Before we go, as we do on the Thursday night show, we have a final quote for the night. There comes a time when the sea and the land come to rest. There comes a time when even the heavens withdraw. There comes a time when the weary travelers need a rest from the journey. From the great author, Rime. Hope you guys like that. Kind of fits very nicely with the story we did tonight. I am Joel K. This is Accessibly Live. Email right here. Give me a yell. Let me know what you guys are watching, doing. Hope you guys enjoyed the story. I really do. We try to give everybody a little bit different variety. This is like what you guys remember from going to the library. When you go to the librarian would sit you all in a circle, semicircle. They would read a story and then they would show you the pictures in the book. There's no pictures on this book. There are technically some on this last one I just read. But what we have you do is just kick back, relax, turn down the lights, and sit back and enjoy the stories. I am Joel K. This is Accessibly Live, the Book Club Reading Room. every Sunday night or Monday or Tuesday, whenever you guys get a chance to watch, here on YouTube and Twitch. Let's get out of here. Take care, all. Be well, be safe, be kind. We've got nightmare going on right now in California. Please keep everyone in your thoughts and in your hearts. There's too much anguish going on. There's too much hideous tomfoolery going on out in LA right now that we need to come together as human beings to take care of each other. There's just a lot of sadness. Take care. Keep everybody in your thoughts and your hearts. We'll see you all next week for more Accessibly Live, the book club reading room. Take care, you guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.